Alrighty then. Today, a few people have asked me about how multi-dimensions work and how all that consciousness and wisdom and what it is and how it works. So I thought I would start explaining it as simply as possible. And of course, all the spiritual belief systems and different cultures around the world have something similar. So I've studied a number of different styles, yoga and Ayurveda, the ones that suit me, so trying to put it as simple as I can. Alright, so the third dimension is everything physical. The easy way to tell that is everything you can touch. Everything's vibrational energy anyway, and is not actually touching, but we think that we can. And of course, it all starts with Mama Nature, because consciousness comes in through the multi-dimensions to Mama Nature, bounces off, and then we can see it. Much the way light works, or lightning. Lightning has to come from the sky, fly the sky, some people call it, comes down to Mother Nature, hits that conductivity and goes boom. And then, of course, the whole clear channel, or the hollow bone concept, for the divine consciousness to come through us, ideally with us being as clear as possible, which means you have to fix your body, and then being connected to Mother Nature at the same time, with minimal projection of our perception. That's the tricky part. It's not easy. And of course, it's impossible to get out of your own perception. Ask anyone who's at the top level, they'll tell you the same. Because up here, there's a sun and a moon, and that is the ether element, which is going to affect absolutely everything. And if you think you're smart enough to get out of your own perception, please let me know how, and I'll tell you don't have a clue. Because you'd have to remove your nervous system and the water in your body. Look at the tides and look at our feminine sacred monthly time. Right, we can see it. And we can touch it. So of course, there's all the animals, all Mother Nature, everything is in that dimension. But most people are stuck in here and in the mental, so they only believe in what they can see. Feel free to open the mind. Okay, so fourth dimension is everything energy and emotions. So emotional, energy in motion. So if we've got our energies moving to the side, say pretty much almost everyone in the Western world especially, the liver and gallbladder is incredibly toxic and usually black and got a lot of gunk in it. So therefore we are naturally going to be subconsciously masculine. Look around. Pretty obvious, right? But until we clean and purify that, we're not going to know because it's subconscious in the body. Subconscious bodily template. And of course, all of love, hate, guilt, shame, all that, then get up to bliss as quick as we can. Samadhi, bliss. And then we get up into the fifth dimension, which is mental, where we have our thoughts, our belief, and our perceptions. So if someone believes in Santa Claus, fantastic. They haven't quite realized that Santa Claus is a symbolism for the Christ consciousness, or the Christ chrism, the liquid that's in the brain that goes down the whole spine to get all the light and love and the bliss and the spiritual experiences. So, in the mental one, well, everyone can do that. That's easy, everyone's got a brain. How well is their subconscious bodily temple working to get the messages back to the brain is a completely another story. And of course, all of this is firmly based in duality. Boom. So if a person's body is misaligned, say the gallbladder is really toxic, well then their body is going to be much more right-sided and masculine, so they're going to have a right and wrong type of attitude to everything. They won't know why most of the time, because it's subconscious in the body. And if they haven't got their nervous system at least connected to the gut, where the major nervous system junction is, then they're not going to get that message back to the brain, so they simply won't be able to perceive it. It's how it goes. Like when I was really angry at the world because my liver and gallbladder were screwed, I was angry at everything. I thought everything had to be right and wrong, and there's only one way, and it's my way, and that's it. A lot of those people going on, So, but when I started fixing that up, the spleen came back onto line, so I started seeing the feminine aspect and the more nurturing, caring, and self-love, and a whole lot of sadness and emotions at my maternal side of stories. And they're all just stories until we become enlightened. So, it's easy to just figure it out. It's like kind of like those moments in the shower, those, oh no, I've been angry at my dad the whole bloody time and trying to prove myself to my dad. Welcome to the majority of science and scientists. There's toxic gallbladder and they're not connected to it and they need to prove themselves. It's very much right and wrong. So, get a brain. A subconscious brain. And of course, in the mental realm, that's when our third eye awakens and we can start to see into the sixth dimension, or the causal body. I like to call it the cause-all body. Because guess what? All the causes are in the sixth dimension. And those are the ones when, say we go to a meditation retreat or a group meditation and you get those, I've been sad at my mum the whole time, or whatever the story is for you, you get those aha moments. You've just tapped your frequency from, which may be just here, up into this causal body, and then afterwards, whatever the effect in the body was, boom, comes back to the coccyx, through the nervous system and goes, boom. So that's why people who, they may even get half an hour into a meditation and they're fidgeting and moving, and they've got viruses in their large intestine, a whole bunch of heavy metals and gunk. So that's why they go the next day, they might go into their guilt and shame. Very much like the walk of shame, when people have a beautiful making of the love experience and then their garbage comes up because they've got heavy metals in their large intestinal reproductive system because they sink to the bottom half of the body. That's the experience that they're perceiving. Still a story. And then when you get up to the causal body, guess what? That's when you're actually a healer. Because you can actually fix things in your body. So when my liver and gallbladder was screwed, I went, okay, I'll do the research, I'll go see a naturopath, I'll go talk to some people, how do I fix it? Because I don't want to stay a prisoner to it, because if it's still in the body, it's only going to get worse. Because the body's energy doesn't have any energy to take it on. So I was doing kombucha, I'm doing bone broths, I'm doing everything, herbs and everything I could possibly, fasting. Coffee enemas are amazing to fix the liver and gallbladder. And then I became much more aligned and centered. And I got further and up into the causal body. Fits, right? And then, of course, when we're on the sixth dimension, then we can start to see. Because the third eye is awakened. Why? We've got the gut and the brain connected. So then our subconscious body temple in the gut can open up and find the different little things in our gut, which we call karma, stored in your body, or often called samskaras. What are samskaras? Okay, that's an external belief, it's a concept. And when you get into the sixth dimensions, you can understand symbolism and concepts and the esoteric, and start to interpret them as clearly as possible, depending on the alignment of your body and the clarity of it. So, then you start getting, all right, liver's buggered, now I've got to balance that, get the fungus between the liver and the spleen, and that's why it's distracting me all the time. Okay, better fix that. And you can start to see it in others because you've removed it from yourself. So, when I had a screwed up gallbladder, I couldn't see the esoteric, I couldn't understand it, was not even interested in it, didn't even know, didn't come into my world. So I started getting into the subconscious gut and clearing the intestines, then I could actually get something done. And I could start helping other people from a more comfortable place, because you start to see it. Now, once you get up into the crown awakening, then you start getting into the seventh dimension, where the divine bliss and the ecstasy and spiritual experiences that are absolutely outstanding. So you get the bliss, the ecstasy, and all the subtle bodies. But lots of people think they're up here, but they haven't got it connected to Mama Nature in the coccyx. That's the key. So you get a beautiful body temple that has a completed nervous system, is the key. Because if it's disconnected, most people are disconnected up here, that haven't got into their subconscious body where the universe connects to in the solar plexus point, so they're not going to understand squat, essentially. And that's what people think, because a lot of people are just like science, or it has to be in their head, right and wrong. That's the only thing they can do, because they don't have their nervous system connected with any power to get messages back to the brain. They're simply unable to see anything, and they call themselves smart. It's hilarious. When you get to wisdom, smart and intelligent is comparatively dopey. Yep, because I was. And I was reflected out. Other people would tell me I was the smartest person in the room, with engineers and project managers and CEOs. I'm like, really? I was dumb as funk. Tell ya. So the only way to get into the seventh dimension is to open up the crown. How do you open up the crown? Well, you study the esoteric, you need to fix the body, and you need to nourish the coccyx and the large intestine. So the only way to do that is colonics and actually get the gunk out. Because the samskaras are the critters, the parasites, the flukes, the viruses, and all that gunk in there that is controlling the nervous system to think who we are. That's what we call the ego. Very much down here in duality. And of course, when you get onto the divine, you'll find that that crown chakra awakening opens up psychic centers and intuition, and you can perceive so much quicker and higher vibrationally than everybody else who hasn't got there. So they just won't understand unless they're open and they start asking questions. That's not to put too much effort into it, because they need to get through the stages. And of course, when you're on to the limitless subtle bodies, energy is everywhere. You just have to stop and get some more. Meditation is very comfortable. You've got to stillness is absolutely outstanding, because every person with a brain in the world can do this. Have thoughts and theories and perception and stuff. Every idiot can do that. The tricky part is to connect it up into the divine, as high as you can possibly perceive, and then get it through down the body. You need a sharp, ideally the Vitruvian man or woman, body shape to do that. That's what the esoteric teachings of Leonardo da Vinci was trying to tell us. Right? That's the symbolism. You can only really start to interpret symbolism cleanly when you have the higher brain function and the neofrontal cortex awakened. And that's what the Matrix movie and Neo was actually able to do. He was able to see those zeros and ones of the Matrix, which we call society, especially in the West. It's not that our body or anything is made up of zeros and ones. It was simply a symbolism understanding to show you that that's what it is, and it's not real. It's firmly based in duality. Just that he could see it and start to play it for his own benefit and for the benefit of others. If a person's stuck in computer language speak, well, they're definitely stuck in their head, and they've got a lot of social programming to get through, which is heavy mental density in the bottom half of their body. But the nervous system isn't connected to it, so they won't understand it, they won't get it. Simple. So, that's the basically every single subject or every single discussion and perception has to go through this. Go through your body and your understanding. So, by being open-minded and asking questions and accepting, we spiritually grow. We just improved our belief system, and then we can fit it into this. So what I like to do work successfully for me is, if I've got a subject and I can fit it into every single dimension, then I know I've got it. Okay. I'll do another couple of videos to fit this into the certain subjects, and then you can see. Because some people will argue about emotions or mental, or no, it's just physical. Very limited mind and concept. We need to get bigger and higher to have a complete understanding. Otherwise, we're simply kept prisoner by it. Who wants that? So, multi-dimensions, everything in the universe has to go through this. So, feel free to apply it. Cool, huh?